It Takes Two, Amy Eiler, JJ Gordon on the Mighty 790 and 104.7 FM KFGO. Theater B in the house.
Whoop, whoop.
That means that we must be getting ready for another exciting theatrical season. Jon, welcome back. Always nice to see you.
Good to see you too.
And you've got some exciting things to tell us about some upcoming opportunities for those people who maybe have an established acting hobby or career, as well as maybe this is the time that they finally take that leap. How many people have had it on their bucket list or their wish list to be like, I want to get involved in theater in some way, shape, or form?
Right.
You've got something coming up. And then Monika, welcome back as well.
Hello.
And we're going to talk all about cool things going on with Theater B. So let's start with this. Jon,
yeah.
I was so excited when you guys not only leapt into this world of like the teen series that you did, those young artists, but now you've got this other series that starts this weekend. Tell me all about it.
Yeah. So what we have coming up, JJ, is we have three workshops that they're designed in such a way that somebody could take all three of them, and you'd have an amazing experience of 2 weekends with a week sandwiched in between. Or you can take any one of those singular workshops. What's really exciting about the workshops, though, JJ, is that the topic for each of these workshops. This is the kind of actor training that you can't get unless you're enrolled in a college or university program, or unless you leave to a larger metropolitan area.
Which we're very lucky that you've decided to, because you're the instructor on these as well?
Am.
Yeah, and so I'll toot your own horn for you. When I saw your list of credits, this is not just somebody saying, I'll watch a YouTube video and decide to get into this. There's clearly some serious thought into this, and so those people out there who say, I've done a couple community theater productions and they're great, or gosh, I did this in college, but I really would like to take it to the next level.
Yeah.
Not only have you prepped it so that you could take all three workshops if you want, but also the intention behind these three things. Clearly, you're saying this will make us a better, well-rounded theater community if we can start working on these skills.
Yes. I'm so glad you said that.
You're very welcome.
Thanks for the horn tooting. I love nothing more, frankly, than being in the training room, because in my book, actors train. Acting to me is athletic. It's an exercise of not only our bodies, which includes our voices, but also our imaginations. And if we rely only on going from one production to the next, to the next, to the next, I think we're actually missing out on working our performance muscles. So that was really the kind of foundation for the conversation that Monika and I had about offering a summer acting intensive. And thankfully, Monika wrote a grant, which makes it possible for people to take the acting intensive with a pay what you will rate,
which is so cool,
right?
By the way, where'd you hit the grant? Who can we shout out to? Thank you so much.
Yeah, I was just about to wave at you and say, let me talk. So Lake Region Arts Council awarded us a grant to fully fund this acting intensive workshop series. And what is really great about it is that the pay what you can model gives 3 steps of discount within each unit that we're offering. But also, if even those discounts don't fit in your budget, please contact us. We really want to find a way for you to be able to afford attending, whether we talk to a specific donor or look at our budget. We really want to make this affordable to our community because, again, like Jon said, traveling to a bigger market, enrolling in college isn't within everyone's not only budget, but sometimes your timeline. Maybe you're a caregiver, you have kids, these things we are really wanting to bring to our community with that forethought of making things affordable, accessible, and we have a wonderful teacher on staff. I mean, I might be signing up because I also believe in that continuous learning. So we really want to make this available to everyone thanks to Lake Region Arts Council.
Let's talk about what the 3 workshops are. What have you prepped for us, Jon?
Yeah. So the first workshop is over the first weekend. It's a Saturday morning and afternoon session and then a Sunday afternoon session. And the focus is on physical viewpoints. So the physical viewpoints as taught by Anne Bogart, inspired by postmodern dance, choreographer Mary Overly. If you've never heard that before, here's why you'd be interested in unit number 1. Unit number 1 is especially geared towards people who want to inhabit their own bodies more in performance, who want to be more physically present in performance, who want to be able to be more open and responsive in making dynamic choices, as opposed to feeling like they're always processing everything in their brain as a kind of forethought and pre-plan. So if you're wanting to embody acting more thoroughly, if you want to find ways to get more solidly connected with those that you're acting with, this would be a great training, frankly, and is a great training and has been used as a great training for dancers, for singers, for theater artists of all kinds. Whether you're a musical theater performer or whether you perform, solely in straight plays, if you're an improv performer, even folks who are, interested in being more physically present and attuned to their own impulses.
Sure.
All of that.
Let me ask 2 questions that come to mind.
Please.
Number 1, I read a great article once about James Dean's acting teacher helping him decide the angle of his lean.
Yeah.
And about how there's a difference, right? So when you think of that iconic Rebel Without a Cause,
absolutely,
about how if you're too far off, it becomes comedic. If you're too straight up, you're not actually, showing that, devil may care attitude.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, wait a minute. Someone was that intentional about the angle of the lean. That's
Absolutely.
a person who knows how their body comes across, right?
Yes.
What about for that person out there who says, listen, I want to be funnier on stage, and I know that funny isn't just from lines. It comes from the whole body itself.
Yeah, I think for somebody who's especially interested in exploring comedy, either Units 1 or Units 2 would be good fits. Because along with the kind of physical training of viewpoints, you have to pay attention to timing. Right? I mean, all of the physical viewpoints is a training for how we move in space, which is, yes, about where and how and shapes and filling the room and all those kinds of things. But it's also about timing, when we execute certain moves. And like you've just named, comedy is all in the timing.
It really is.
I mean, the difference between something being ridiculous and something being, just heart-wrenching can be like a second.
Yeah.
Right?
It's
like in the delivery of a line.
I remember taking a class at Second City where we had an entire day about double takes.
Yeah.
And about how,
good one.
It's not just look. It's the first one is you see, the first one is you're just looking, and then you happen to notice something as you're looking back, and you should have this moment that changes, that pulls your head back. And so we did this thing where someone literally pulled your head back from it.
Yes.
And I'm like, this is exactly where, the comedy is. But if you didn't take the time to learn that, you would just mimic whatever you've seen before. And I think going back to your earlier point, Jon, we get to the point of where we just got to get the show up, right?
Yes.
We've got to get the show on its feet.
Yes.
And then we're not really massaging and working on it because it's there, it's ready to go.
Yeah.
And the shows don't transform that much. And then before you know it, you're auditioning for your next piece and you forget the lessons you've learned there. And so this opportunity with a workshop lets you concentrate on just those things.
Exactly. I mean, when we're training as performers, we're the focus, right?
Yeah.
We're the focus. Where we meet the technique with the other people who are in the room, that's the focus. That's what we're focusing on. So we all have habits. We all have particular ranges. We all have choices that we've used before. Any of these units will help increase that intentionality and broaden your range. So the second unit, for example, is more focused on voice and speech and also physical characterization. So when you brought up comedy, I said, well, you might be interested in Unit 2 as well. So if you're especially interested in broadening your range about how you use your voice, about your breath support, about the kind of sound that your voice voice creates, about how to shape words, about, how to find a character voice that doesn't sound like something that you've, pasted on top of your choices, about creating physical characterization so that all of your characters don't look the same because you have the same kind of tempo rhythm or angles or shapes. That would be Unit 2.
So my note right away would be maintain ? Because that is something I watch a lot of actors do, where you start off with, and you're like, oh, I'm from Boston, but I've moved somewhere else. So you've got this slight accent that's a part of it.
Yeah.
But by the second or third page, you've kind of lost it, or you come back to it after, you exit and come back in a scene. And so figuring out how to maintain, and I'm not just talking about a voice, I'm talking about that voice that you give your character, even if it is your own accent, maintaining that, maintaining emotion.
With a dynamic range, right?
Yes, exactly.
Because if you're maintaining something that's super flat, well, everybody's going to get pretty bored.
Bingo.
And the character's not going to read as a fully fleshed character, regardless of what the style is, whether it's realistic or whether it's, screwball comedy. Mm-hmm. We want range from all of our characters.
And then maintaining for physicality means, how many times have you seen this where someone, they're in an Oscar Wilde play and they cross and they're like, why? We've had a turn about the room. And then they instantly, their shoulders drop in their arms, and then their face is gone. Yes. And then all of a sudden their line comes, and then they're right back up to square.
All part of building that really full character where it doesn't just exist in the line. It exists all the time when you're on the stage. And I think what's really great about the units that Jon is offering is that it's not just for people who are starting out their journey as a performer. Anyone who's done theater for 5, 10, 20 years can refresh what they've learned through these units. It's just really exciting to offer it to our community with a person who's clearly intending it to be a full experience.
Okay, so tell me about Unit 3. I'm on the edge of my seat.
Unit 3 is devising. So Unit 3 is for folks who are interested in creating new performance from the ground up without sitting at a keyboard or sitting with a piece of paper. So devising is a term that's used, it's an umbrella term that's used to kind of name a whole bunch of different approaches for creating work in ways that don't solely rely on a playwright.
Okay.
I am a big fan of playwrights.
Mm-hmm. Good for you. You're in the right business then.
I think that playwrights are amazing. There are a bunch of plays that I think are amazing. Every year I discover new playwrights and new plays that I think are stunning. I am also passionate about artists coming together to create new work together that didn't exist before they came together. I'm really excited to get my toes back into devising. Devising is something that I have a specialty in, that I have a background in, but I haven't been able to do it for the last couple of years. It just doesn't happen very much in Fargo-Moorhead. So Unit 3 is devising, collective creation of new work from the ground up. So this would be for any creative, right? This could be for somebody who's a performer. This could be for somebody who's a musician. This could be for somebody who's a visual artist. This could be for somebody who's used to making film but has never been on stage. Any and all of our creatives, right, in the wider community, it would be great to have them in the room for Unit 3.
I am really thinking about those people, too, like you said, who've never stepped foot on stage before, but work in a creative medium. Yes. I mean, just a couple feet from here, we have the people who write commercials for us, right? Yeah. And how it's a kind of a solitary job sitting there and taking, 20 bullet points and having to create something that's engaging and memorable from it. Yep. They would be primo to take this unit. Oh, I like this a lot.
As an artist in the community, and this is something that really connected me and Jon when we first met. We've done a lot of shows together. Even though I'm the executive director of Theater B and I work there, my beginnings as an artist in Poland were with devising theater. And so there is that yearning to get more of this kind of theater. And so opening the topic of devising to our community is just so exciting to me personally. It's also something that I think there's a trend in our industry right now, in our art form, that is going to see more and more devising, because there are young people coming into theater all across the nation that really have such strong opinions, and they are growing up at a time where speaking to what you want to do, how you want to change things, who you are, is only going to grow. And so devising is that form of giving the voice to the young people, especially in telling us what their place in the world is. So that gets me really excited.
Absolutely. I love that you named that. I think devising is a whole powerful set of tools that can allow a group of people to co-author work. That's a very different situation than if we're paying royalties for a play. Mm-hmm. So we're already in service, right, to that playwright. And I'm not suggesting that that's a bad thing, right? But we all have to be true to what started as that playwright's vision in some way, shape, or form. We're legally bound to do so. We're ethically, artistically bound to do so. It's a completely different thing to get a group of people together, for example, a group of young adults from a particular neighborhood, or who share certain identities or certain experiences or certain things that they're passionate about. And have that group of people enter into a devising experience in order to co-author new work.
I mean, Jon, I'm going to have to reach out to you on a side note, because I'm having my kids at Fargo South High this year for their one-act play festival write the show. But what I've done is I've said, listen, I've got money for these special effects, and so you need to create around the fact that we will be using, a breakthrough plate glass window. And this is the set that we're going to have. And so you're going to have to come up with something that goes with this. And then the thing that most of these kids were most excited about is like, well, at the end, we get to see the thing that we created, right?
Yes.
And be like, yes, you do.
Yes.
And then I was like, we're going to get everyone a bound version of what the final script gets to be. And I'm like, and then you're at the world premiere of something that you helped create.
Yes.
From out of nothing, which is amazing.
That's fabulous. Mm-hmm. And that's actually a devising approach, right? Devising by a sort of recipe list, right?
Oh,
Ingredient list.
Ingredient list,
list. Like you need to include A, B, C, and, the plate glass window.
I got a budget for it, and I know kids would go crazy for being able to smash through a window, right?
I think it's great.
Yeah.
Because automatically, part of performance is about surprise, right? what's more surprising than breaking glass?
I know, especially like with I was like, when I pitched it to all the kids this last year, they were like, well, we're going to have to do extra work. We're going to have to come in and do this. And I'm like, right, but you're going to be able to do this. You're going to be able to rappel down from the ceiling. You've got all of these things. Because in high school, all I wanted, I wanted two things. I wanted a breakaway bottle in something that gets smashed over my head. And then I always wanted to work with squibs. Like, but now that have you ever worn a squib pack before?
No.
It hurts.
Yeah.
Because it's a small explosion.
Yeah.
And it's right against your chest and under your costume pieces. Like, that sucked. Kids today, don't think about that. That one is one that you can do without. But breakaway bottle is super fun.
Cool.
You're going to have to let us know when that's happening.
Right.
I want to see.
Trust me, I'm going to be telling everybody. I can't wait. And the kids now are excited. So I see them during the summer. They go, oh, we thought of this cool thing. And be like, great. Bring it to the school year. Bring it to the school year.
Jon, does Unit 3 end with any form of showcase?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh,
we're gonna create new work. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Do you have a date? Can we tell people when it's going to be, or are we going to have to wait to see how the unit goes?
Yes, we will put information on our website.
Okay. Hey, speaking of dates, you have some cool events coming up too that we should highlight at Theater B.
Yes, absolutely. The most important thing is going to be on September 9th. It is our season preview. Now, people who are familiar with Theater B already know that our season preview is essentially the big opener when we get to tell you what the shows are, and you get a bit of a taste from each show. You get a scene that's fully performed. This year we're doing it Theater B, so there will be lighting and sound involved. Really a wonderful celebration to the start of our season. So you'll get to see, for example, a scene from Frankenstein and a scene from I Never Asked for a GoFundMe. That is on September 9th at 7 p.m. at Theater B, and all the information is on our website. But also, in 2 weeks, we have on August 25th, We have a concert. Jared and Amanda Haft are coming to Theater B to perform their original music. And on August 28th, Lakes Area Theater from Alexandria is presenting Dear Jack, Dear Louise by Ken Ludwig. So if you're a fan of Ken Ludwig, we have a traveling show that's presenting it on our stage. That information is also on our website. But September 9th, put it in your calendar, season preview.
Theaterb.org, TRE, spelling of theater, theaterb.org. Also, I mean, if you just Google it, in all honesty, it comes up right away. It's like when people go www, be like, we know how websites start, but thank you very much for that.
Yes, thank you.
Right. Jon, is that where people should go if they want to sign up for one or all three even of
Absolutely.
these workshops?
Yep. And just a quick refresher, unit number 1 is especially if you're interested in physical performance, in growing your presence, your openness, your responsiveness, and your ability to connect with your fellow performers and your audience. Unit number 2 is about expanding your ability to create characters with a broader and supported range in terms of voice, speech, and physical characterization. And unit number 3 is that devising unit that we were talking about, co-creating new work from the ground up. The last thing that I want to share is that each one of these units is specifically designed, and I will be teaching them so that folks of any ability or disability will find their way into this work.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Also, let's talk about some logistics too. Is there an age minimum for these courses?
We have suggested that these are for adults.
Okay.
If you want to contact me to pitch why you would be a good fit for this and this would be a good fit for you, I'm open to fielding that conversation and having that conversation.
Okay. As you said, theaterb.org for all the hours and information and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Is this something where, am I bringing a bag lunch with me? Like are there break times? What do the actual days look like?
Yeah. On Saturdays, because the Saturdays of both weekends have morning and afternoon sessions, we're actually providing lunch and snacks.
What?
I know.
Bury the lead.
Boom. JJ is signing up. On the other days, you're responsible for your own snacks.
Okay. And then what should people wear? But
folks should be prepared to move.
Okay.
You should be prepared to move with ease and without needing to adjust anything.
Okay.
I do want to add that our Unit 2 is about halfway full. So the sooner you sign up, the more likely you are able to get a spot. So we encourage people to look at the website, and there's full description of each unit on our education page. All of the discount codes are there. So go to the website as soon as you can.
And let me talk directly to those actors out there. It's a really great resume builder too, right? You know, putting that on there is something that when someone's casting a show and they can like, oh, look at this person who's continued their education. They've continued building their skill. What a great opportunity. So, Jon, I'm so excited. I think this is going to be a blast. You're going to end up getting so busy. So I hope that you're ready for that, for people being like, I want you to come to a workshop at my business. I need you to come to a workshop for our theater company. It's going to be busy, busy, busy. And Monika, we heard from your schedule, Theater B already is busy. So What exciting stuff.
It's a lot of exciting stuff, and we're so excited to add this workshop to our calendar.
Theaterb.org, all the information you're going to need. Thank you both so much, and have just like an amazing weekend of workshops, and have an amazing summer. And I can't wait to see Frankenstein. Not going to lie, I'm very looking forward to Frankenstein.
Aren't we all?
Thank you.